Hello everyone, this is Ms Celery. I'm super happy to have a chance to check in with you. I've been thinking about you so much today and have some things that I would really like to share. I'm sorry that it's been a few weeks since I've posted a video. Something about this crazy time is that we all experience it in different ways and in different waves. So I think that there are some days where it feels easy, where it feels like, oh, I can cook a yummy meal with my family and I can go outside in my garden and I'm okay. And then there are some days where I read the news and I miss my friends and I feel really not okay. And that's okay. That's part of all of this. Some of these experiences we've never even dealt with before. Teachers, parents, we're all doing this together in a way that's new. So thank you so much for being patient with me and being so caring to me and checking in with me. I'm sorry about missing out on connecting with you the last few weeks, but I have some exciting things today and some exciting things to tell you about next week. So thanks for tuning in. For every single one of us, school and work has looked very different the past few months. One way that my work has looked different is that instead of being in the garden, spending all day in the garden with you all, I have had to find new and different ways to help my community. I really enjoy planting things with you and sharing food with you and watering our garden space and building forts. That act of building together, of being together, is so important. Getting to know the people that you're in school with, getting to know your teachers, getting to know the land that you live on is so important. And caring for our community is my favorite part of my job. Because we haven't been together as a community in the same way, I have had to look for new and different ways to work in my community. This idea of working in your community and getting things from your community and giving things to your community is called mutual aid. Mutual aid is the practice of helping someone else and receiving help yourself. So it's a piece of interdependence, which is something that the fourth graders have been talking about this year. It's my favorite word. One way that I've been practicing mutual aid during this school year is by working with a group called Food Not Bombs. At Food Not Bombs, we cook really yummy veggies that would have otherwise gotten thrown away or put in the garbage, and we feed them to people that are living on the street or people that are not living in a house. I have these to-go boxes that I have been packing our food in, and I actually put some poems on the boxes so that people could enjoy the words while they eat. So that's one way that I've been doing mutual aid. Another way that I've been practicing mutual aid is by making a bunch of different face masks. And something I think you would enjoy about these face masks is that they're all upcycled. At my house, we have a place where we put all of the things that we want to take to Goodwill or to the thrift store. And right now, it's not possible to donate things, so we just had this giant pile of clothes. So I took all of the clothes and things that people were going to be donating. You can kind of see the leftovers here. And I turned them into face masks that I could pass out to my friends, that I could pass out to folks that we were feeding. And I wanted to show you my favorite face mask, the one that I kept for myself, and explain it a little bit to you. So I wanted to show you why this is my favorite mask and explain to you a little bit about what it means to me. So this mask was made out of 3 different t-shirts, one here, and then the straps on the back are from a different one. And I took some letters from 2 other t-shirts, and the letters actually spell out a very important message. Not silent. Not silent. And this message is a really important message to me right now and always. So I think right now, as we're all socially distanced and in different places from each other, it's easy to feel like we're alone, and it's easy to feel like things that are really important to us are harder to do and harder to talk about because we can't be together. And so I made this mask with this message to remind myself that even though my mouth is covered, it doesn't mean that my voice is off. I want to use my voice to serve as an ally. An ally, which we talked a little bit about in 4th grade, what an ally is. An ally is someone who stands up and stands with you or with people to care about something that really matters. An ally is someone who takes actions, uses their words and their body and their things that they do to support the right thing, to support what they care about. So, for example, in the garden, we're like allies to the plants. We support them by watering them and by making beds for them to live in so that people don't step on them. We use our actions and our words with each other to stand up for our plants because they don't have a voice that speaks in the same way that ours does. So we practice being allies in the garden, and over the past few months, I've been thinking a lot about what it means to be an ally and wanting to remind myself with little messages like this and with big actions like mutual aid in my community, what it means to be an ally and why. Today, I want to talk a little bit about something that has been really heavy on my heart, about what it means to be an ally and why right now it's especially important to learn what that means and to learn how to do it. That being said, I don't think it's possible to be the perfect ally, just like it's not possible to be a perfect human being. And there are times when you will try your best to stand up for something or someone that you believe in, and you might still say the wrong thing, and that's okay as long as you are listening and you're ready to learn from it. I think that's something that I'm still learning all the time. It's really easy to want ourselves to be perfect and to know every single answer, but we don't. This world is so complex. There's so many things going on, and so as long as we every day are getting up, being our best, and listening, I think that we're on the path to being really amazing allies. So, as I've been practicing my journey of becoming a better ally and a better community supporter, someone who stands up and stands with people and things that I care about, I've been thinking a lot about myself and about America and about what my life is like here and how it might be different from other people in America and how they feel. I've been seeing some things in the news lately that have really been reminding me about how different my life is from other people in America that have different skin colors. For example, in America, African Americans have a very, very difficult time. Their bodies are not as safe. Their bodies sometimes put them in danger just because of how they look, because people make judgments and they think things just based off of someone's skin color, which is completely unfair. It's completely unfair. And I want to make sure that as an ally, I'm standing up for those people. I'm standing with my African American fellow citizens and anyone in the United States who does not feel safe here because of how they look. A big part of being an ally, though, is listening more than talking. I think that when I watch TV, when I read books, when I even look at my teachers at my college that I'm going to, I see a lot of white faces and I hear a lot of white voices. And I want to practice learning how to listen for and listen to voices of many different kinds of people. So I was thinking today that we could all practice being allies and listening to the voices of other people and their experiences through a story. When I went to pass out Chromebooks at the very beginning of Shelter in Place, I got some free books from our school library and I found this book. It's called Grandpa, Is Everything Black Bad? And it is a very, very special, precious book written by Sandy Lynn Holman. And I would really love if we could read it together today. I think that it can help us to learn and to listen and to grow as community allies, which is so important. Grandpa, Is Everything Black Bad? Story by Sandy Lynn Holman. Grandpa, is everything black bad? It's dark black and scary in my room at night, so I hide under the covers when Dad turns out the light. I like watching TV, but sometimes I'm sad because most white things are good and most black things are bad. Do you see how two different people, both people, different colors, are drawn so differently? The person with white skin, what do you think that they look like? What are some words you would use to describe them? The person with dark skin, would you say the same? People wear the color black when somebody dies. They look very sad and have tears in their eyes. Grandpa, is everything black bad? Grandma says hide in a bush when a black cat walks by because they bring bad luck to those that they eye. Aunt Barbara says that my skin is darker than most others. She calls me the black sheep of the family because I look different from my brothers. Even in the same family, different people can have different colors of skin, and that means that their lives are different and the things they experience are different, even growing up in the same home. I saw a fire burning in the forest one day. It made the trees turn black and the animals run away. Grandpa, is everything black bad? I think witches are scary, flying their brooms in crooked hats. They always look ugly and they always wear black. I like hitting baseballs with my friends Ronnie and Ty. One day our ball hit Jasmine's face and she got a black eye. Black widow spiders are dangerous and quick. They have poison in their bites that can make people sick. Tell me, Grandpa, is everything black bad? I'm black, so does that make me bad too? I reckon I can understand the way that you feel, Moncho. Grampy never did stop to think about all the things in this world that are the color black, that seem bad. Maybe that's why so many chillin' are ashamed of their beautiful dark skin. You youngins think all dark things must be no good. So it's true, huh, Grandpa? Everything black is bad? Moncho whispered sadly. Now you just wait a minute, little man. You ain't got bad, and neither is the color black. You just got that kind of thinking out of your head. It's folks who decide what colors mean to them. Why, I love the color black, and I think it's one of the most beautiful colors in the world, Grandpa said firmly. You do, Grandpa? Moncho asked, surprised. Yep, I do, little man. Almost as much as I love your grandmama's gumbo soup. You see, Moncho, it ain't the color of someone's skin that makes them good or bad. It's what's inside their heart that counts. The more love you give from your heart, the better you are as a person, no matter what people say or do. You understand? Moncho nodded. You also have something else inside you that is very important. I do? Moncho asked curiously. Yep, you do, little man. You have a heritage. A very, very proud heritage. Heritage? Moncho wondered, wrinkling his face. What's heritage mean, Grandpa? A heritage is our past. It's where we come from. It is the traditions and the things that are important to us and our family. who lived long before us. Our heritage is African, Mancho. Wow, look at those beautiful fabrics. African, Mancho said loudly. I'm not African. I don't live in Africa. No, but our ancestors did live in Africa a long time ago, and the spirit of Africa is within us no matter where we live. Africa is also where a lot of important things happen that help people all over the world. Even today, you and I still have African blood in our bodies. That's why we look like black Africans who still live there. So, why does everybody call me black then? Why don't they call me African? I don't know, Mancho. Black folks have been called so many different names over time that many people aren't sure what we should be called anymore. Some folks say we should be called one thing, and some say we should be called another. All Grampy knows is that us grown-up folk got to be careful what we let our youngins be called, especially if it makes them feel bad. We also have to teach y'all about your heritage. Your heritage is where you come from. The history of your family. Every family has a history. What do you like people to call you, Grandpa? Why, that's simple, little man. They can start by calling me the name my mama gave me when I was born, Rufus. I didn't know your name was Rufus, Mancho said, tickled. That's because to you I'm just plain old Grampy. If someone calls you black, do you feel bad, Grandpa? No, Mancho, I don't. You see, when I was a youngin' just like you, my grandfather taught me about our African heritage and our history. He gave me a special bamboo drum, and he played it. It told me stories from our past. Those stories made me feel mighty proud of my African heritage and the dark color of my skin. Could you play the drum for me now, Grandpa? Mancho yelled excitedly. Could you please? The old man looked into Mancho's big black eyes and smiled. He took Mancho by the hand into a special room in the back of the house. The room was beautiful, flowing with colors of black, gold, purple, red, and green. Beautiful African scenes were painted on the walls, and masks and pots were lying on the floor. It looked like an African kingdom with a straw hut inside. Within the hut was a large red bamboo drum. It looked magical. Mancho's grandpa sat him on the floor and began to slowly beat the drum with his large, old hands. Close your eyes, little man, Grandpa whispered. Feel the love you have in your heart as I play. Listen, and you will see pictures in your head as the drum tells you a story about our heritage and our history. Mancho closed his eyes and listened as his grandpa beat the drum. After some time, the drum beat sounded like voices to Mancho. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. The drum began to talk. Africa is beautiful, and so are its native people, with their beautiful, dark, black skin. Her lands have great animals like lions, giraffes, and elephants. Africa is where our ancestors' lives begin. Africa's land is naturally rich, with lots of diamonds and gold. With deserts and rainforests throughout her regions, Africa is beautiful to behold. Africans built the mighty pyramids and used some of the earliest tools. They developed writing, mathematics, astronomy, and religion. Even the Greeks came to study at their schools. The Nile River, the longest river in the world, was home to the earliest farms. There were queens and kings in African lands, Africans made medicines to keep people from harm. Africans made calendars a long time ago that today would still be right. They had clocks like the sundial they used in the day and the water clock they used at night. Africans had writings, and the Greeks called them hieroglyphics, which used pictures in place of words. Africans were proud and made important contributions that have helped people all over the world. Be proud of your dark skin. It represents a proud people, and black is truly a beautiful color. It was passed down to you by Africans who lived before, and your heritage is like no other. Mostly, be proud of the love in your heart and all you have within. It is the love that you share with people around you that matters the most in the end. The drum kept talking to Mancho. Boom, boom, boom. Be proud of your black skin and the love you have, and remember your heritage is African. Be proud of your black skin and the love that you have, and remember your heritage is African. Be proud of your black skin and the love that you have within, and remember your heritage is African. At last, the drum stopped beating. Mancho opened his eyes and gave his grandpa a big, strong hug. That was beautiful, Grandpa, Mancho cried. I saw pictures in my head. I saw Africa. Please, can we play the drum again? I want to know more about our past and our African heritage. I want to hear the drum talk again. Mancho's grandfather put his arm around the little boy and said gently, "That's enough for today, little man. Grampy's old bones need to rest. Besides, it's very important for you to remember what you learned today." "Don't worry, Grandpa. I won't forget what the drum said ever," Mancho said proudly. "Now, that's the kind of talking Grampy likes to hear from his little man. Makes an old man like me feel real good." "Grampy, can I ask you something else?" Mancho said softly. "What's that, Mancho?" "Do white people have heritage?" "Yes, they do, little man. All people do." "Then what's their heritage?" asked Mancho. "Well, it depends on where they come from in the world, little man. A lot of white people's ancestors in this country came from Europe, so their heritage is European." "What's European, Grandpa?" "That is a whole nother story that Grandpa will have to tell you some other day. Don't you worry yourself none, though. We'll have plenty of time to learn about your African heritage and all of the others in this world. Let's learn a little bit more about your own heritage first, and then it will be easier to learn about all the others." "Grandpa." "Yes, little man. I love you. You always make me feel so good." "I love you too," Grandpa said, looking at the drum still in the middle of the room. "You just remember, the dark color of your skin and your African heritage is a good thing. A very, very good thing." That's the shape of Africa. I really love that story. I really love and appreciate Sandy Lynn Holman for writing this story and sharing Mancho's thoughts with us and sharing Grandpa's thoughts with us, because Grandpa's right. It's important that we learn about our heritage and our background, and it's also important that we learn about each other's background. But no matter how hard we try, we'll never live in another person's body. There's no way to do that. It's impossible. So in order to really understand people's lives and to understand people's experiences, it's important that we practice listening and we look for stories that are told by the people that we're trying to learn about. I think that there are a lot of ways that we could learn about people in America that have African heritage. I know that when I turn on the TV, I see a lot of pictures of people that have African heritage painted in different ways than I heard in this book. In this book, I heard a lot about love and beauty and pride and all of the ways that people of African heritage have contributed to their own lives and to everyone's life on this planet. And so I want to challenge myself as an ally, as a supporter of people of African heritage, of people of all colors in America. I want to challenge myself to look for stories that really help me to understand what life is like for certain people. I want to take time to listen, and I want to make sure that I hold in my heart what Grandpa said is true. The best way that we can know about who someone is or what they stand for or what it means to be an ally to someone is to just think about the love that we have in our hearts and the way that other people show love to us and around us. I think that when we judge people based off of love, and when we love and try to love every person that we encounter, I think that we're in a much better place than if we only judge and live off of the color that we see on the outside. So thank you so much for tuning in with me today and helping me practice to be a better ally. This is something that I'm going to practice every single day for the rest of my life, and I'll never be perfect at it, but I'm always going to practice it. I hope that this summer and always that you find ways with your family to practice being an ally, to practice standing up for voices in America and across the world that maybe don't have the privilege to feel as safe as some of us do. There are ways to do this in big ways. There are ways to do this in small ways. One huge way that you can be an ally is just to ask questions to the people that you care about and to the people that you know, and to find books by all different kinds of authors about all different kinds of people and read them. Maybe you can find a group like Food Not Bombs or a soup kitchen that you could help to feed people in our city that don't have a house right now. There are so many ways to be an ally. Maybe you could make a really nice sign on the front of your house or on a window that just says something about love or something about being an ally. There are so many ways that we can show support even though we're not physically together. There are so many ways that we can make sure that no matter what, we are not silent about things that we see or things that we know are unjust or unfair. Thank you so much for taking the time to think about these things, because they're hard. They're not easy to figure out, and sometimes I spend days in my brain like, how do I be an ally? What do? I don't know. And that's okay too. Reach out to people. Feel free to reach out to me with any questions, suggestions, or ideas. I would love to be your ally in this learning journey. That's what I think teachers are, and you are also my allies. I've learned so much from you this year, so thank you. So, while school is ending for the summer, our work as allies, as community members, is never over. So, find some ways to get to know yourself and your heritage over the summer, and I really look forward to connecting next year in the garden. Next week, I have a chance to go to our garden and do some cleaning and some planting and watering. And so I'll make a video to show you how it's changed since we've been gone and just remind you how much I love you before we are apart for a few more months this summer. Until then, thank you for everything that you do and everything that you are. I'm so proud of you for being so resilient and so strong during this really strange time. And allies are important. So are you.